Or even better, mostly rare, but sometimes often outburst. What does that even mean? But I'll admit it, this one made me laugh because it was just so bad. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leslie and today I need to very quickly film my review of My Plain Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jodi Meadows. This is the edition that I received in my July Owl Crate, and I say I need to do this very quickly because we have family staying with us for the next week and they're coming into town within the next hour or so. And I'm a little strange. I do not like to film anything when I know people can hear me, so I need to do this prior to them walking into that door. I am still in my sweaty gym clothes, but that's okay, let's get on with it. I read this book with Emily at Books for Life, and I'll go ahead and link her channel down below so that you can go ahead and give her some love. Let me start off by saying that I did not like this book at all. I give this a 1 star out of 5, which for me is awful. I am honestly shocked and flabbergasted that so many people said this was one of their favorite reads of 2018. I thought it was complete garbage. You know, this is nothing to do with the authors. If you like this book, I'm not saying anything negative towards you, but this book was not to my taste, and that's all it is. And for those of you who don't know, My Plain Jane is a retelling, a spoof if you will, of Jane Eyre, written by Charlotte Bronte in 1847. So both stories take place in the Victorian era. The original novel of Jane Eyre is about an orphan girl who's had a very traumatic upbringing. She is hired as a governess in a very beautiful estate where she falls in love with the master of the house, but she can tell that strange things are happening behind closed doors. Now, My Plain Jane follows the same plot line, add in a few ghosts, and a secret society whose job it is to get rid of said ghosts. This secret society is constantly harassing Jane Eyre to join the ranks because she can see ghosts, even though she wants absolutely nothing to do with them. And there you have it. That is the plot. Sounds riveting, doesn't it? I was under the impression that you did not need to read Jane Eyre in order to enjoy My Plain Jane, but I assure you folks, there was no enjoyment had on my part. I highly recommend that you do read Jane Eyre first, or you'll be left like me, missing all the subtleties and thinking that the writing is bad. But it actually was bad. I was lucky enough that my reading buddy was simultaneously reading Jane Eyre, and she was able to tell me what was going on in the original novel, and even though I'm not planning on reading it anymore, it did sound a hell of a lot better than this shit. But enough ranting about this book. Here's in details what I did not like about it. And as you can see, 6 different parts of this book that really irked me. 6 is a lot. At first, I had a very hard time deciding whether it was poorly written or if the authors were just making fun of Jane Eyre. And so I decided that it was both. They were using descriptions like, with his dark eyes and his tall ways. His tall ways? You are a lying liar who lies. Like, what the fuck? Or even better, mostly rare, but sometimes often outburst. What does that even mean? But I'll admit it, this one made me laugh because it was just so bad. I felt like I was reading Alice in Wonderland where shit just didn't make sense. Or they use super cliched sentences like, it was easily the most handsome face she'd ever seen. And I realized that this is a little jab at the actual original novel because in Jane Eyre, the male love interest is supposed to be super unattractive. But there is a proper way to pick a little fun at something while keeping it comical but still interesting, and this was not it. I honestly felt like the poor writing was exaggerated on purpose, and it really made it unbearable to read. Oh, and I almost forgot, there are references to other novels like Pride and Prejudice, Harry Potter, even The Princess Bride, where one of the characters goes as far as saying, "My name is Alexander Blackwood. You killed my father. Prepare to die." Just No, 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 you stop that. In the beginning, I also like that the authors addressed the reader throughout the entire story, but it was done too often, and it became annoying because what they were saying became less and less funny. Like I said before, I thought the plot was uninteresting, not eventful at all, and when you add ghosts to a story and it is still boring, you have a serious problem on your hands. I felt like this plot had so much potential that was not even remotely touched. I enjoyed Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter so much more than this, and that was crap too. The characters were bland, or should I say plain. However, I did appreciate that our three authors gave Charlotte Bronte a place within the story as one of the only female badass characters, perhaps as a silent apology for butchering her novel. Also, fictional Charlotte's boyfriend's name is Kerbel, which is real-life Charlotte's pen name, so I thought that was a nice, subtle touch. The one good thing about this novel is that it is a super fast read. It is not thought-provoking in any way, but it's a good book to have on hand, let's say, if you're stuck at the DMV for 3 hours. Which happened to me. I'm really surprised that my opinion of this book seems to be the unpopular one, but what can you do? It really left me angry. Can you tell? If you're gonna write a retelling, for the love of God, you use your power to make it better than the original. So that was my opinion of My Plain Jane. I really wish I hadn't read it, and that doesn't happen often with books. I'm usually the person that's like, oh, it wasn't good, but you know, I don't regret reading it because it's still furthering my knowledge. I can honestly say that I did not further anything in this book other than my patience running low. Thank you so much for watching. I doubt I'll get many thumbs up on this one, but in the event that you agree with me, or perhaps you just like my rant videos, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, and I will catch you guys in my next one.